We are recording. Happy Wednesday night, Team Play Harders. I am so excited to have Kara Churchill leading this a team call with her success partner, Leona. Kara is a lifetime one-star diamond coach. You guys all know who she is. She's always a chart topper on our team. She's been around with me from the very beginning. I don't even think she needs a lengthy introduction at all. But she and Leona have really done some amazing things together in terms of being Success Club partners. And I think that's something that all of us could really, really, really stand to learn from and try to emulate and duplicate, myself included. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over and let you take it away and mute myself. I have my pen and paper. I'm ready to learn.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. It's nice to see you and meet some of you that I don't know. So Jennifer, I'll meet you in Portland, it sounds like. Well, and let's talk about Leona, shall we? Oh, there she is. I see she's coming on. Okay, so I'll get started and then we'll segue into her section. So I have my notes over here. I'm not ignoring you. All right, so yeah, as Ellen said, I've been with her a long time, over 5 years, sounds crazy. And I think I've probably been through, I kind of lost count, maybe 5 or 6 success partners. I think 3 of them actually quit the business. So that was an easy decision to move on. And one of them just wasn't in the same place that I was with the business. So we parted ways and that's all good. But I wanted to start off with, well, actually, can you raise your hand or thumbs up if you have a success partner already? Who has more than one? Yeah, I think it's important to have more than one in some ways. But I wrote this quote down that when I was just doing some research on the call, and it says, people who wrote down their goals were 42% more likely to achieve them than ones who didn't. Or telling a partner, but if you tell a partner or a friend, you increase that rate to 78%. So 42% in your journal or writing it down, but 78% if you actually tell someone. I believe that, honestly. And I was just, when I was trying to figure out what to say, I was just kind of thinking, as a partnership, as marriage and, best friends and all this kind of thing. And I was listening to a corporate call from Danielle Natoni and Julie Voris, who are success partners. And you know how Danielle is, she's like, no nonsense. She's like, I was like a 9-star coach. And I thought, why would Julie Voris want anything to do with me? She's like 15-star superstar. She's like, but I asked. And she said, yes, And she made a point to say that it actually doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who's at the same rank as you. Sometimes it's good to it depends on the person and the personality. But I thought that was good to know because Danielle just kind of assumed that Julie might say no, but they have a great partnership. And so one of the reasons why I know that it works so well with Leona, and you know how you kind of, when you're doing calls like this and doing research, you kind of reflect back on yourself and you're like, okay, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And one of the things, even though I have a pretty outgoing personality, I'm actually kind of hard to get to know. I have a lot of walls built up around me. I guess I can go to counseling for that, but that's another call. But I think I'm hard to get to know. And so I was kind of going to like the fate serendipity thing with Leona because she said it was dumb luck. I said I'd like to think of it as pure luck that we ended up connecting together. But I remember our conversation very clearly one Saturday morning when we were in one of our team cup competitions, and she was on vacation, but yet she still scheduled her Zoom call. Were you in Hawaii, I think? She scheduled her Zoom call to meet with her people on her team cup, and just so happened that no one else showed up for whatever reason. So it was just her and I, and she was on a different time zone. It was still dark outside. And I just got to really share my heart and share the struggles that I had in my business, in my life and what was kind of holding me back and my self-limiting beliefs and all of these things that are uncomfortable to talk about. But she's such a good listener. And one of the other things that's important for me as a success partner, and I think maybe for you as well, would be that I didn't feel that there was any judgment there. I didn't feel that I was being criticized or thought less of because I was sharing what I was sharing. So that was kind of like, I felt like the dating was over and we moved in kind of to the marriage fiance type of relationship. And then we just kind of have evolved from there, and we do complement each other well, our strengths. And I think too, one of the things that's nice is that Leona is an older mom, like I am an older mom. So there's things that are just different than when you're a younger mom. So we relate that way. The reason why you need somebody is because we are so isolated in this business. We can't do it alone. And even if you are doing another job and you're out, in the world, so to speak, you still can become really isolated in this particular business, hiding behind the keyboard and always, the phone and not necessarily talking to someone who's in the business, but maybe your challengers or, your clients. You can become very, maybe not as focused as we want to be. And then I also wanted to back up because how if we invite somebody to our challenge group, one of the reasons we know challenge groups thrive is because we have that sense of accountability and that community and that journey and all of the energy that we're asking our challengers to be part of this community so they can have accountability. So I would never expect someone to try to run a business without having that same accountability. Same goes for coaches that we bring on board. We would never expect them to just run with the business with no support, no accountability. So Ellen has created this business starters training, which she shares with everyone, that we have a place to connect and plug in and be motivated and systems in place. And so we can't expect to just run this business no matter how good you are and how strong and how focused you are, you still have to have somebody to keep you accountable. They keep you on track, they push you, they give you accountability, obviously motivation. And I'm taking this one from Danielle and Julie, but Danielle said, we just take 5 minutes at the beginning of every conversation and we just moan and groan and whine and complain and do whatever and just get it off our chest. And then when 5 minutes is over, we move on. But we can just do it and it's out there and it's real and we're good. So they don't have all of that, that stuff. Hold on. Okay. And here's another thing. I just found so much humor in what they were sharing. Both of them are previous teachers too. They're still instructors, but they have this teaching thing about them. Julie says, no matter how much you love this business, your partner, your spouse, or your family is not going to love it as much as you. So you cannot talk to them about this business as much as you would talk to as a success partner. So she said, even though you love the business, you just have to remember that they just love you, not the business necessarily. So you have to find the person to talk to about the business. My husband hides it well, but I'm past that. I'm like, never mind, I'll just talk to Leona. And if you need, here's how to find someone. If you don't know how to find someone or you're just kind of at a loss, always ask your upline or even your upline if you need some more help. It doesn't have to be someone on the same team. And I've actually had 2 personally sponsored coaches as success partners, but for whatever reason, it didn't work. It was either too close or they were just not at the same place in the business. I can use them as accountability partners, but not as success partners. And there's a difference. And you can just interview people, and it's like speed dating almost. You just go down a list of people and call people, and they don't work, then you just move on to the next one. And that happened to me once. I was 5 minutes into the conversation, and I knew right away that it wasn't going to be a good match because they were already asking me questions that at their rank and experience in the business, they should have already known the answers to all of that. And I just politely declined. It wasn't a good fit. And I knew it. I was going to feel like I was dragging that person and not complimenting each other. Ellen, can you mute Diane? I think it's the one that I'm hearing the noise. Thank you. Hi, Dan. Oh, I love this one. So I think that your success partner should actually scare you a little bit. It's kind of like a parent thing where you're like, oh, I have to tell mom that I didn't do this, or I didn't get my homework done, or a little bit of like butterflies in the stomach. Because if you say, I'm committing to 10 invites, or I'm going to commit to do a live video, or I'm going to make one really scary invite some person that's on my chicken list or whatever. If you say you're going to do it and you have to tell somebody that, and you're actually kind of nervous and scared to tell somebody that you didn't do it, that's actually a good fit. Kind of like not an intimidation, but just like, oh, they're going to be so disappointed in me, that kind of feeling. And they also shouldn't sugarcoat it. So if you say, I said I was going to do this and I didn't, it shouldn't be, oh, it's okay, you can do it tomorrow. It's like, well, why didn't you do it? What was up? What was the problem? Why didn't you get it done in your day? I think it's important to keep it real. One of the first things that Leona and I have done is that she invited me to be part of her 80-day obsession challenge group. And so that's been awesome to be able to see her team and her challengers and clients. And then I have one other coach in there as well. So that's just been nice to build a relationship. And then of course we are also in each other's team pages if you have a team. And it's fine if you don't have a team, then I would suggest maybe always co-leading challenge groups together if you don't already. Let's see, looking at my notes. And then get really specific once you get kind of into the depth of your business. Even if you're still building, know what your weak leg and your strong leg is. And of course your upline can help you with that. But Leona has talked to me about this a lot. And she's an engineer, if you don't already know that. So her mind works in mysterious ways, I guess you could say, but she's always thinking about, this and this and how it all works and how it all goes together. And some things that I hadn't necessarily thought about before. So it's always really good to know what your weak leg is, what your strong leg is, what your goals are. If you know you want to make more money, then you try to figure out, where should I place this person or what kind of coaches is going to be. That's the kind of stuff that's really, really good to talk about. And if your success partner doesn't know, then your upline should know so they can at least get you started on that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. When I was listening to, there's the diamond calls that corporate's offering now on Tuesday nights. And the one that I listened to, not this week, but the previous week, when it's an actual corporate person who was leading the call. And she said, if you are a diamond coach, the most time that you should be spending in the day with your team is 7 minutes. 7 minutes a day. So if you are a coach or an Emerald coach right now, most of your focus should be on inviting to the business, inviting to the challenge group, inviting to everything. And if you're doing anything really but that, anything outside of that, then that's something that your success partner really needs to get you dialed in on. It's the inviting part. So you're really 100% recruiting. It doesn't have to necessarily be coaches, but it needs to be clients and challengers. That's really all you really should be doing. And then, that's where that's kind of another thing, but sometimes that's where we fall off as we start to build our business, is we start to focus on like mentoring the team. But top coaches will always tell you still have to do the same thing every day. Some people say it's not sexy, but I think it can be sexy. It's all, just all the stuff that the vital behaviors are. Then I just have one more little section, and then I'm going to hand it over to Leona. But sometimes this might need to happen. You might have to talk about the D word. You might have to get divorced. It might have to happen. And it's okay. Everyone will be okay. But you might get to the point where you have to just let go. Let go of those people. If you feel like you're dragging them along or you're just not benefiting, like I said, seasons of life, you might be at a time where you just need to make the change, and things happen. If everyone's mature enough, it's fine. You're just like, this isn't working for me anymore. It's not you, it's me. Good thing we don't have any children. We're moving on. And, but you really do. You have lives to change, and you have to take your business really, really seriously. You wouldn't even be on the call if you weren't taking your life seriously. And you just have to be honest, be upfront, and move on. And they'll understand. and maybe you'll connect later. I don't know, maybe you'll connect later. And Leona and I have actually met in real life once in Dallas. Heather, you were there when we were at Platinum Edge, but we didn't, we didn't really connect until later. So anyway, that's kind of all I have. Just if you don't have one, get a partner and then ask for help if you need it. But I'm going to mute myself because I want Leona just to kind of tell her story, her side of the story.
All right. Well, thanks, Kara. So I don't know how much she told you. I'm sorry, I was a little bit late. But did she tell you that she actually posted on Team Fit Finances that she was looking for a success partner? So that's really what happened. She just went out there and said, I need a success partner. Just totally, that's it. She said a little bit about herself and asked. And I think somebody else answered. And then I'm like, hey, maybe I'll do it, because I had never had a success partner really, and I never really thought I needed one. I did meet up with a couple of other coaches before, and that started working. So I thought, I just assumed I was supposed to work the business by myself. I'm an overachiever. I'm a type A personality. I should be able to just do it by myself, right? So I did that for years by myself, and I felt so isolated and sad and nobody to talk to, and I couldn't figure out why I was so frustrated, and then Kara and I connected, but she's like, oh, well, this other girl is going to be my partner. She likes this part. This other girl's going to be my partner, so sorry. And I was like, oh, all right, sure, whatever. And so she rejected me at first, and I thought, okay, whatever. I don't really know her, and I was just throwing it out there, and I didn't know what I was looking for, but that was just really my first time, and she rejected me. So that'll happen too, right? And then I don't know how long it took her. It didn't take her very long, because she's like, all right, dude, this other chick is not even answering me, and I don't dig her. So, we don't know anything about each other, but she was like, yeah, let's just go for it. I'm like, okay. And that's really, really it. Like, I didn't even know what her business was like, or who she was, or anything. So we totally just worked it out. And that's why I keep saying, I said it was dumb luck, because it was. I didn't know, how we actually were serving each other's businesses all along. It ended up that we're in each other's downlines, right? Just like I didn't know I was related to Ellen this much. I didn't understand. But the more I looked at, you look at your downline, the more you look at that and you look at your strong leg, you can see who's feeding that, who is not really on your team, right? I just see a bunch of names, and I know that now there's several people on Team Play Hard that actually, I think Becky too, that are in my downline, right? And I think it's great. So we, dumb luck, happen to actually be in a position to help each other. So it actually creates a lot more synergy. We talk a lot about structure. And because I started the business after her, I only see her right leg activity. So this is all the part where I get really analytical, right? And I look at who is serving my business directly and who is not. And her right leg is the only thing serving my business, right? But because I joined after, all of my business serves Kara's business. So technically she has a much bigger vested interest in me being successful, because it serves her 100%. The more I grow, it affects her directly, right? And same thing with Ellen. And so that's actually how I got into Team Play Hard too, because I'm not really in your lineage, just so y'all know. I'm a guest in Team Play Hard. And Holly Hireman is actually my personally sponsored. So we're all related. I'm in the family, and that's how we connected. I did want to share, some other things too that we've learned by being together, because I think that's important too. Having somebody who is in the same kind of place in the business, right? We have similar experience. We're not exactly the same rank, but it doesn't seem to matter. We have the same kind of knowledge about what needs to be done. We've tried and failed a whole bunch of times, so we know what doesn't work. And we're able to communicate with each other very clearly, So we challenge each other with, details, very specific details about the business, because we totally get each other, right? We've been there, we've done it. There's, where do you want to grow? what is the structure of your business, right? We talk about very, very detailed things, and it actually really helps us to think deeper about what we're doing. Like I didn't even remember, we were talking about strong leg, weak leg, and positioning and where you place people. And I'm going to refer you guys back again. I posted the Scotty Hobbs Beachbody Income Surge videos, and I will send you guys there every time if I can, because those have made such a big difference in how I want to build my business and where I want to place people. And that's the kinds of stuff that Kara and I challenge each other with. Placement is very important to us right now, because our carryover volume, which you should also pay attention to on our strong leg, the leg we share, is so high that it's overwhelming for us to build the business that way. So we challenge each other all the time about placement, and not as much rank, right? We talk about placement because for us, volume's a big deal. We have all this unearned, undiscovered money that's just sitting on our strong leg, that is just sitting there. And it actually inhibits you, right? So it inhibits your mental growth, and you always want to populate your weak leg. But we push each other to make good decisions and how to structure ourselves for success, right? So it's really interesting how we've evolved from the I don't want to be your partner, totally rejected, to friends. We're totally bonded now. And I think I don't even see that we'll ever give each other up, right? Even as we grow, we're going to maybe grow with new partners. And actually, I tried another partner. I was kind of cheating on her. And she's not very good either. She was like her first one. She doesn't call me back and she doesn't respond. So I'm like over it already. Oh, thanks, Dana. But I just want to encourage you guys really to just try it. Even if somebody doesn't seem like they're your cup of tea, Kara and I couldn't be more different. And it's really surprising how well we do together, because we're totally different. We think different. We have different personalities, but it works. It really works. We've grown into this friendship, this mutual respect, and we understand how to help each other's business. We can moan and groan and we get it, right? You don't have to go through some long thing. You don't have to, like she said, talk to your spouse or somebody who just feigns like they understand you. We get each other. It's hard. And I think that's what it is. You share, you push, you grow, you do that together. And I never thought I needed something like this, but now I'm all for it, you guys. So don't be like me, thinking you have to do it alone. There's always going to be somebody who's going to get you. And if it doesn't work out, just try another one, right? And it's not always going to work out. It's fine. Try another one, right? So that's kind of it. I want to thank you guys though, because I'm so grateful to be part of your team. It's been really nice, and it helps a lot to have you guys here. Thank you, Sarah, too, and Ellen.
Yeah, I have so much to say to conclude, and maybe you could take a couple questions. I know I have a question for both of you. First, I just wanted to say I'm just incredibly proud of the two of you. I am so impressed by you. I'm more impressed after taking in this call tonight. I never in a million years would have, I've been Kara's upline from day one. Never in a million years would I have thought to partner her with Leona. I never would have. And so props to you, Kara, for putting out a Success Club Partner Wanted post. I think that's a great place for you guys to start. Do it in Team Play Hard, but do it in your other, like those of you that are in Kara's team or in Leona's team or in Team Fit Finances. I see it in the roundtable sometimes, people Success Club Partner Wanted. A couple of my most profound takeaways, and really this was incredibly dense. This was so good. Kara, I loved what you said about 42%. You're 42% more likely to realize your goals if you write it down, but 78% if you tell someone. That I believe it, but it also shocks me. I love that you said they should scare you a little bit, because you should care about their opinion of you. Otherwise, you you're not as invested in whether you follow through or not, then I remember when I was working with Doug Moss, for whatever reason, I cared so much about what he thought of me when he was in working with my rank, that was the most I've ever thrived in the business, because I was scared. He scared me a little bit. And I love so much, Kara, that you said this was gold. I hope you guys caught this. She said that Danielle Natoni and Julie Voris, they take a couple seconds to get their complaining out, and then it's done. Like, no one grows in this business with complaining. So it's okay to have some feelings like wah wah about something, you know, oh, all I got is no's this week. Oh, I haven't hit Success Club, whatever, get it out and move forward. I love that she said that. And then I really didn't know the call was going to go this direction did Kara just drop off? Did she do that on purpose? Because I know she has a very tight window. Leona, did she do? We don't know. I know she's like, it's family time. I give this call 30 minutes. But I love that about her. She's coming back on. Okay, then the other thing, and then I have a question. Leona took this call somewhere else that I didn't anticipate. She took it to the structure in which we grow and how we really make money. And I'm not going to get into the weeds with that right now, but I love that that came up. And let me just say this. Hi, Kara. Welcome back to your team call tonight. Betty, who's on, we can't see her video, but you see her name on the screen. Betty's on. Betty's one of Leona's coaches. I check my online office multiple times a day, and I noticed today that in my downline, I have a couple new coaches. One of them Kara brought on. One of them Betty brought on. So who is in your downline matters. But what's interesting is Leona already told you guys something. She's not in my downline. She's in my upline. I didn't recruit her. So people above you in this tree are adding or can add, depending on placement and positioning and genealogy, which you can learn about in our Emerald training. They have an impact on your bank account, on your carryover volume, and on your ability to earn. And it's so important to know and ask those questions and find out those things. And then on that note, can I just say that Donna Meyer is on this call with Kelly Amos, and they are my upline and Bella. And Bella's on. And they probably, I don't know if they can even stay on, because Donna just flew in to visit Kelly in Coeur d'Alene, and I text them. I'm like, come on, Kara's leading a phone call with Leona. Hop on and say hi. So it's so sweet that they're, and that's like, I didn't know Leona was going to talk about that, but like if Kelly or Donna add a coach to the right leg, guess what? Betty and Leona and Kara, they get that coach in their downline too. That's why Donna recently and Kelly, we're all kind of sharing this new coach training. So I don't want to talk too much. That was amazing. I did want to ask a question. How do you guys, and there's probably no right or wrong answer. I mean, there's probably no like way that's right, but I'm just curious. Do you guys talk every day? Do you Vox? Do you set up a weekly appointment? Do you, are you strict? Like, since you've become friends, is it easy to be like, well, how's your husband? Or do you like, how do you manage your work time together?
Yeah, good question. Sorry, I disappeared. It was that actress in me. What did you appreciate more when I came back? I was going to mention that we Vox like once a week. I think maybe if that, and it's all just pretty much straight business most of the time. I think our husbands are very similar too, and they're like, yeah, honey, that's nice. Just kind of like, so I really like to bounce things off of Leona. And so we don't Zoom, it's all Vox. Yep. And sometimes, did you know you can only Vox for 15 minutes? Oh, yeah. I would know that. Okay. But yes, that's what I do. Okay, Leona.
Well, and then I think what's helping us right now is we're doing the 80-day together. So we see each other like daily. So we also have been Voxing a lot more often. If we have a thought or something, we do that. And we also use Messenger whenever we are thinking about something. So I think for us, we're just staying connected. If we have a question, we just ask it.
What do you mean
know?
you're doing it together? You mean you're running the challenge group together because you guys live in different states? Or do you mean you're...
Yeah, she's in my group, right? She said
Okay.
that. She brought Jen Neef and herself are in my 80-day group. So it's been great to be able to bond daily as well. I think it's just making our relationship stronger. We definitely have a vested interest in each other now. I don't know that we're going to get a divorce ever. You're stuck with me.
All right. Any like burning questions for them before we let them go? Kara, we might lose Kara again. Like she's a slippery snake. We might lose her again. Anyone have any burning question or comment?
Well, I just want to ask if you guys are going to try to get a success partner now. Like, do you feel differently after this call that you want to do something different about that? Anyone? Yeah.
I actually was working kind of with someone before, and a great person. She's a lovely person, but we just didn't click. Like the click didn't happen. And so right now, Kara had me set up with Stephanie Landry, and immediately click. And then Kara interacts with us daily, and I feel such a difference in my motivation and what you guys had said about the isolation. I'm so glad that the isolation is diminished because I am alone. I'm a stay-at-home mom, no transportation. So I'm home all day with the kid, right? And so to have that outside connection and being able to talk about the business, it's great. I'm so glad to have someone. And if anyone's delaying or questioning, well, maybe I shouldn't try right. No, try right now. Go get somebody.
That's a great note to end on. Oh, Heather. Yes.
I just have a quick comment about live events. So my success partner is Kim Coates. She lives about an hour and a half from me here in California, but I didn't meet her until we went to Oregon together. So that's where we really clicked. So going to live events, Super Saturdays, whatever trainings are going on, it's a great way to meet somebody who maybe you've seen on Facebook or, you know, because we're both under Holly, but we really have nothing to do with each other. But it's just a great way to meet people is live events because you really can bond faster than online.
Totally. Indianapolis. We're all staying in a house together, actually, a lot of us on this call. So, yep. Great point, Heather. Awesome point. I loved this team call. It was so good. It was so great. I actually think I'm going to put the recording in Fit Finances. Yeah? Is that okay? Oh, Leona's like, wait. I think it'd be great. So, all right, you guys. Happy Wednesday night. Thank you, Leona and Kara. Kelly and Donna, thank you for hopping on. Diane, thanks for being persistent. Bye, guys. Bye, Dana. Bye, Jennifer. Bye, Betty. Bye, Lisa. Bye, Becky. Heather. Good night, John Boy.